The Galactic Rescue Center on Station Osiris-7 was known throughout the sector for housing the unwanted, the dangerous, and the misunderstood. Maya Trent had visited dozens of times, always leaving with some creature that others deemed unadoptable. But today, she stood before a reinforced containment unit that made even her pause. Inside, a mass of midnight black fur and crystalline spikes coiled in the corner. 6 amber eyes tracked her movements with predatory precision. "That's Nyx," the Zentari shelter worker said, his tentacles recoiling nervously. "A Voidborn, apex predator from the Dark Nebula region. Incredibly intelligent, incredibly lethal. She's attacked every species that's tried to handle her. We've had her for 2 cycles. Nobody wants her." Maya pressed her hand against the transparent barrier. Nyx's eyes narrowed, but she didn't move. "Why is she here?" Maya asked. Her planet was strip-mined by the Vortan Corporation. She was found in a cargo hold, half-starved, defensive. She's been hostile ever since. The worker's voice dropped. "Honestly, we're waiting for authorization to solve the problem permanently. I'll take her." The worker's translator chip stuttered. "Did you just—" "I'm sorry, what?" "I said I'll take her today." 3 hours later, after signing liability waivers in 7 different languages and receiving a stern lecture about human recklessness, Maya transported Nyx to her HAB unit on the station's residential ring. The Voidborn remained in her transport cage, muscles coiled, ready to strike. Maya sat cross-legged 3 meters away and simply waited. Hours passed. Station lights dimmed to simulate night. Still Maya sat. Finally she spoke. "I know you're scared. I know everyone here has given you a reason not to trust them. I'm not asking you to trust me. I'm just asking you to exist here safely for as long as you need." One of Nyx's 6 eyes blinked, then another. Maya stood slowly and placed a bowl of synthesized protein near the cage before retreating to her sleeping pod. She didn't look back. When she woke, the bowl was empty. Nyx sat at the far end of the room watching her. The days that followed established a careful rhythm. Maya went about her work as a xenobiologist, studying samples, filing reports, always aware of the silent shadow that observed her every move. She never reached for Nyx, never made demands. She simply shared her space. On the 8th day, Nyx approached while Maya was reading. The Voidborn's massive form made no sound as she crossed the room. Maya felt the displacement of air, the heat of another living being. But she didn't move. Nyx settled beside her, close enough to touch. "Hello," Maya whispered. A low, rumbling purr answered, a sound the shelter had never heard. 3 weeks later, alarms screamed through Station Osiris-7. A Vortan mining vessel had breached the neutral zone, demanding sample specimens for their genetic research programs. Station security was outmatched. The Vortans were notorious for taking what they wanted and leaving wreckage behind. Maya's comm erupted with evacuation orders, but her door was already being overridden. 3 Vortan soldiers in powered armor stormed in, weapons drawn. "One human xenobiologist," the leader said, scanning his datapad. "Excellent genetic diversity. You're coming with us." Before Maya could speak, Nyx moved. What happened next would be analyzed in military academies for years to come. The Voidborn became a black blur of calculated violence. Crystalline spikes extended from her body, puncturing armor joints with surgical precision. Her 6 eyes tracked multiple targets simultaneously, predicting movements before they happened. In 15 seconds, 3 elite soldiers lay unconscious, their equipment sparking and useless. Nyx positioned herself between Maya and the door, every muscle ready, every spike extended. The message was unmistakable. "You'll have to go through me," but she didn't stop there. As more Vortans breached the station, Nyx didn't wait for them to reach Maya's quarters. She hunted. Station security watched in awe as sensor feeds showed the Voidborn moving through corridors with devastating efficiency. She didn't kill, that wasn't her goal. She disabled, disarmed, and terrified. Every Vortan who encountered her fled in panic, spreading stories of a demon that protected the station. Within an hour, the Vortan vessel retreated, their captain filing a formal complaint about unauthorized deployment of prohibited bioweapons. The station commander found Maya in her quarters, Nyx once again sitting calmly beside her, licking one massive paw. "Your pet," the commander said carefully, "just single-handedly repelled a military incursion." "She's not a pet," Maya said, scratching behind Nyx's ear ridge. "She's family," The commander shook his head in disbelief. The Voidborn are supposed to be untrainable, impossible to bond with. How did you? I didn't train her. I just gave her a reason to trust again. News spread quickly through the galactic network. The human who had tamed the untamable, the Voidborn who had chosen to protect rather than destroy. Adoption requests at the Galactic Rescue Center increased by 300%. Species that had been overlooked for years suddenly found homes. But more importantly, the Vorten Corporation's mining licenses in the Dark Nebula were revoked after a formal inquiry. Nix's testimony, translated through a neural interface Maya helped develop, provided irrefutable evidence of their crimes. 6 months later, Maya stood on the observation deck, watching ships come and go. Nix sat beside her, grown even larger now that she was properly fed and cared for. The Voidborn's 6 eyes reflected the starlight. Peaceful and alert, you know, Maya said. The shelter called you the most hated creature in the system. Nix made a sound between a purr and a chuckle. I think they just didn't understand you. Nobody gave you a chance to be anything other than what they feared. Maya leaned against the massive creature. Humans understand that feeling pretty well. In the vastness of space, on a station that had once condemned a creature to death, a woman and an alien cat watched the universe together. 2 beings who had found in each other what the galaxy had refused to see. The possibility of trust, the power of compassion, and the strength that comes from being understood. And somewhere in the dark, other unwanted creatures dared to hope that maybe, just maybe, someone would see them too.